We'll do it live.
We're doing it live!
We're doing it live. Ay. All right. Gotta be quiet. Shh.
Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
One and all to yet another episode of Moviesucktastic.
That's right. We're doing it live.
Doing
again.
It live!
And I apologize in advance for everyone because I am not feeling well, but for the sake of the show, I figured we got to do it. We got to do it, you know.
Got to be done. The man got to do what the man got to do.
Oh, I feel so bad.
You're looking fine, sir. You're looking fine.
Oh, thank you. Well, looks don't mean shit. But
oh, okay. Fine.
What? Nah, I lost the video on my side. What the fuck?
Then, you know?
Anyway.
Doing good. We're good. I'm watching this live. We're fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep. I'm bigger than you. I'm huge.
Huge.
I'm a bit grainy, though. I may have to zoom out a bit just to... I may be too huge for the screen.
Oh. Probably not the first time you've heard that before.
Oh, I heard it a lot. Bringing the doubles. God's too huge.
Sorry, I'm playing with the controls here a little bit, but...
Oh, don't apologize, goddammit. Talk. Don't apologize. Talk.
Talk.
So welcome to Moviesucktastic number...
65.
65. I knew that.
Yep.
Coming up, we're going to be reviewing the classic 80s sci-fi low-budget extravaganza titled Circuitry Man.
Mm-hmm.
Right after we do our top 10 list, which is the norm. And I got to stop swiveling back and forth like I'm like bored in class here since we're on video now. And we're going to do the top 10 list, and it's going to be a regular size episode. We're not going 2.5 hours this time.
Yeah, we're going to, and I think we can breeze through the top 10. And I think we can do a pretty decent review of Circuitry Man. And I can give you your movie challenge.
Oh, which I can't wait.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess we'll go ahead and... Oh, God.
Yeah? What?
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm dying. Let's go ahead and do... let's do our theme music for the top 10. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. All right. What I'd like to do is I'd like to pop up the top 10. Put that up on the screen for everybody to see.
Our top 10 for the weekend of...
It's going to be...
Yes.
Let's see. Hold on.
Come on.
I got it here.
Come on.
March
for our
9th
listening audience.
through the 11th.
From 9th through the 11th. Now that we have an audio and a video audience, we need to cater to both, sir, which means there can be no dead air, unlike our Oscar episode, which I was forced to listen to. Which
hey, you know what? I edited that fucking thing, and I think I came out all right at the end.
And there
wasn't a lot of dead air. A lot less than you would think.
In the first 15 minutes, there's a lot. First half hour, there's like a lot of dead air.
Well, yeah, there is.
I'm not blaming you.
You should have heard it before it was edited. How about that? Maybe that's why I'm biased a little. Is because before it was edited, it sounded a lot worse.
I shouldn't have heard any of it, to be honest. But enough reminiscing. To the top 10 list, you said the weekend of the 9th?
Yes, the 9th through the 11th. March 9th, 10th, and the 11th.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry. And I would take the list down off the video every 30 seconds or so we don't just have a static picture for the whole time. My recommendation.
Okay.
If possible.
I'll put you back on if you want.
So, sir, start off.
Starting off is the number 10 film, which is Journey to the Mysterious Island, with 3.6 million last weekend.
Now that's a tour movie, right? That's Journey.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Center of the Earth, whatever. It's here. Let me do this.
You doing? Come on.
I'm giving everybody a little better look.
Yeah, but our audio audience is now twiddling their thumbs.
Yes, that's fine. Don't worry.
My
about
God, sir.
All right, it's made 90 million so far.
Right.
You know what? You're right. Sorry about that.
90 million.
Yes.
No plans on seeing that.
No, zero.
Right. Number 9.
How's that? Is that better?
That's beautiful. I'll just entertain everybody.
Okay. All right. The number 9 film is This Means War, which is the spy film, Valentine's Day spy film that they came out with.
Mm-hmm.
With Tom Hardy and Chris Pine and Reese Witherspoon. Sorry.
Between this and the Twilight movies, love means wanting to kill your significant other.
Correct.
Because spousal abuse is fun and romantic.
That's right.
Number 8.
Number 8 is The Vow, with also 3.8 million. Again, no desire to see this. This is just another one of those, like you said, I think a couple of weeks ago, you'd already seen it. It was called 51st Dates.
Right.
Yeah. So, moving on is the number 7 film, and that's Safe House with Denzel Washington and what's his face?
Hold on. Put my movie video up. I'm gonna do the Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Put my video up. You ready? Get the over the shoulder.
Dead on, sir.
That's my Denzel.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
And now my feet are stuck. All right, next. Ow. Yeah.
All right, next is what is next? The Eddie Murphy film, 1,000 Words. Now this is new this weekend with 6.1 million, and to be honest, that's not a very good opening weekend. This is the one where he only has 1,000 words before he dies. Is that the main plot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, ironically, I can predict now the reviews for this, which I haven't read. At least one of them is going to have, I can sum it up in one word, and it's not a word we can print.
Oh, sorry. Wow. Shit.
Seriously? Well, yeah, possibly.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on is the number 5 film, Silent House.
It's equal to Silent Hill.
Is it really?
No.
Okay. Because from what I've seen trailer-wise, it's it just looks like another found footage film.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think that's what it is.
Used to it. They're cheap to make and they don't lose money. Get used to it.
Well, it's opening weekend, 6.6 million. So that's, to me, that's, I don't know what it cost, but I think they were hoping for a little bit better.
Right.
All right. The number 4 film is Act of Valor with 6.9 million, where they take active Navy SEALs, they throw them in a movie. You said last week, and you're right, it's just propaganda.
It's a 2-hour be-all-you-can-be commercial.
That's it. That's all it is. So,
not to besmirch the good name of men and women serving in combat, but it's a self-aggrandizing pro-war, pro-military operation propaganda reel.
Right.
So that's all that is.
Number 3, I'm sorry, is Project X with 11.1 million.
Which is my favorite Matthew Broderick film of all time with the monkeys. It's excellent.
Yeah. This is not that movie.
No,
this is not that movie.
Aww.
This is a take on the the crazy college party that got caught with somebody's flip cam or iPhone, and then it made its way onto the internet. That's the level of film that we're at these days.
Flip camera. It's
yeah,
all
it's
shot
just
on,
someone.
it's all shot on.
Yeah, it's someone just carrying around a camera through the whole party.
I'll tell you, I was trying to sell that 10 years ago. I was trying to sell the idea to somebody.
Right.
Say, it's a whole film. And, all right, 5-7 years ago, I'd say, maybe 8, where, we didn't have smartphones, but we still had the camera phone technology. And I was like, listen, a whole film that takes place on camera phones. And like, oh, you'll never get an audience to watch that. Here it is. There you go. I was proven right. Thank you. I was right again. Ahead of the curve again. Thank you.
10 years ago, I would have seen this film, and it probably would make its way onto my DVD wall, but not anymore. So,
this chart's putting me to sleep. Put.
All right, the number 2 film,
yes,
for this weekend is John Carter of Mars, or John Carter. In its opening weekend,
yes,
$30 million.
In its opening weekend, it came in second.
In its opening weekend, it came in second to a
Huge
film.
flop.
Which is the number 1 film, which is Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, which has been out, I think this is its 3rd week, and it's made almost $40 million and made 38. Now, you called it, I called it, I think just about everybody but Disney called it.
No, I think they called it too. That's why they released it now and not in the summer.
Well, I think if they could have gotten a summer release, it might have fared a little better.
No, I disagree totally.
I think the summer's booked. I don't think there was any room for it.
But if it could have done well in the summer, they would have made room. I don't
know.
I'm telling you, I think they saw this. I think the tests came back. I think they realized they made a mistake, and they said, okay, we'll break even on foreign sales and DVDs and stuff, but let's not take up time during the blockbuster summer schedule for what we know is a flop. Get it out in there in the spring. So I think they killed this one. It was a mercy killing. They knew it was going to die, so they put it somewhere where it could die a slow death and not look like a big mistake.
Yeah. And you're right. With the foreign market, it will make back its money. And it's rumored in the range of costing around $300 million.
And just like Avatar did before it came out, because remember, before Avatar came out, they were hedging their bets like, oh, no, they're exaggerating when they talk about the budget. It's nowhere near that. We deny all that. Right. And then once opening hit and it did Blockbuster, yeah, we spent $500 million on that. We admit it. Yeah, we do it again.
Yeah, and they will.
Because they just don't want it to be perceived as a loss, so that's what they're doing. Right. That's why they've been coming out so strongly against the rumors of the $300 million budget on John Carter, because they knew it was going to flop, and they didn't want it to look like they dumped all this cash into a huge piece of Avatar.
Yeah, well, eventually they're going to have to release. They're going to have to release its budget, and it ain't going to be pretty.
I've got several people on our Moviesucktastic chat room telling us to please, for the love of God, take the chart down so they can see our pretty faces.
Okay.
Yeah, or at least put it up to the side so we can look at you while we're talking.
Well, we're done. No, and we can do both of us.
All right.
Is everybody happy now?
Is everybody happy?
I'm happy. All right. Good. Anyway. Going up and down the list, which I've now lost for the finger list.
Number one. Number one, the Lorax.
I already said it.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it.
All right, the Lorax.
I have nothing to say.
I got nothing to say either. It's made $121 million so far.
Did you see the big to-do about it?
It's doing very well.
Now, here's what I love about the Lorax.
What's
the Lorax comes out, and it's a pro-environment movie.
Yeah, that's its whole point.
So your right-wing commentators come out and say, oh, this is Hollywood attacking, and this is after the whole Muppet movie thing where they complained that it was painting oil company people as bad, evil people, which they are.
Well,
I don't know why we're still debating. It's like when you hear it's like when the Vietnam War comes up. It's like, oh, he said the Vietnam War was a bad thing. Says, I thought we agreed upon that now. I thought we were all in agreement upon that. After BP and all that, I thought we were all in agreement that oil companies are fucking evil.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a necessity, and we can't do anything about it, but can we at least agree they're evil?
And considering that we might hit $4 a gallon this summer, and it's already been confirmed that tourist areas such as Disneyland, Disney World, places of that nature, $5 gas is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Just because it's a tourist area.
Right.
So yes, oil companies, evil.
So the right's complaining about the Lorax, but they're indoctrinating our children with. This is the important part. They're saying they're indoctrinating our children by putting this environmentalist message on a kid's cartoon. And then in the news, if you look carefully, some people were complaining because the makers of the Lorax, with their cross promotion, had I forget what brand it was, SUV dealerships. They were advertising SUVs with the Lorax, going to schools and having kids look at the SUV painted with the Lorax on the side and trying to convince their parents to go and test drive the SUVs. So they're using Dr. Seuss's Lorax environmentalist story in a movie form to sell SUVs. I rest my case.
There you go.
There's nothing to say. That's it.
Wow. Here, come take a look at this vehicle that gets roughly 8 miles to the gallon. Depending on what it is, if it's a Hummer, it's probably 12.
And tell your parents to buy it. And by the way, the movie's evil because it's portraying oil people in a bad light.
Yeah.
Obviously, a left-wing conspiracy.
All right, let's go ahead and do the finger list. Now, reading from the bottom up, like we always do, the number 10 film is Journey 2, This Means War, The Vow, Safe House, 1,000 Words, Silent House, Act of Valor, Project X, John Carter, and Dr. Seuss's The Lorax.
Yes. See, now when you run down the list, then you can throw it back up real quick. But don't worry about that.
I'm not. This is me not caring. So anyway.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. I hate to sound like a broken record, but
again,
well, I don't want to. I don't want to come out and say The Vow, but I look at the list. There's really I would see anything else other than The Vow. I would. Fuck that fucking movie. It can go fuck itself.
Now, if I remember correctly, last episode I chose Acts of Valor.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and I think this week I'm going to lean towards The Vow, just so I don't repeat myself.
All right.
Because it's really a toss of the coin on which one's going to be the most excruciating to sit through, and so I'll double up with you on The Vow on this one.
Okay, good.
We can do a pinky swear and cut the pinkies off. I'm not seeing The Vow.
Sounds good to me.
There you go.
All right. Let's go ahead. God. Let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about Circuitry Man.
Hang on. I got to stop. Stop the show.
What?
How long did it take us to go through the top 10 list?
Well, I see total time is 17 minutes.
We did that in under 15 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah.
That is a Moviesucktastic first, sir. You should be sick more often. We're on a roll.
We've done it once before. I think last week's we went on like a 15-minute tangent. I don't remember what movie. It might have been Act of Valor, to be honest. But we didn't go on a tangent this week.
No.
Oh, and I forgot to mention my sister-in-law's tattoo shop.
Oh, by all means, sir. Plug away.
Okay. Now, I haven't been cleared to give the address yet because they just passed their health inspection, which is important for opening a business. It allows you to allow patrons into your establishment. So, from what I understand, they're opening soon, but it's called The Rabbit's Den. It's in Milltown, New Jersey, and two of the most talented tattoo artists you're ever going to see have just opened their own shop. So, if you guys are interested out there, I highly recommend them. It's Tom and Jane Carroll. It's called The Rabbit's Den, and it's in Milltown, New Jersey. So if you're ever in the New Jersey area, I highly recommend making a trip if you're interested in a tattoo or body piercing. They're going to do that too.
And it still stands. Anyone who gets a Moviesucktastic tattoo becomes an instant co-host of the show.
Yes. And now, is that a one-episode co-host of the show?
Oh, that's we're talking permanent ink.
Permanent.
If it's ink. It's permanent. So I'm saying anything over a square inch that we can look at and say yes, that's Moviesucktastic, even if it's like one of our faces tattooed there, that's for life. That's whatever you want to come in on a show. Just let us know you're there. You're in the advertising. You're a part of the show.
Got it.
I think that's worth it.
I don't think there will be a discount for mentioning Moviesucktastic. No. Someone posted that. They gotta eat too, you know, and it's a brand new business. So
I do think though we should get a commission for referrals at least.
That could be just. I know. I would never do that. I mean, I would never.
I expect I expect a small discount on my tattoo. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, we'll see.
As long as
it's not my business, it's up to them.
How about this? If you go there and you get a tattoo and tell them Moviesucktastic sent us, they'll give you a free Moviesucktastic tattoo. How about that? We'll work the details out later.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a break.
Yes, let's.
And when we come back, we'll do Circuitry Man, and we'll do the trailer.
Yeah, Circuitry Man.
All right.
Coming at you.
All right. Let's take a break.
Yes.
Are you home alone tonight? Got no one to cuddle? Urging for some connection? Don't worry. Daddy ain't gonna hurt you. Just tune in Moviesucktastic. Give us a call at 908-514-4470. Tell us what bad movies have been tickling you. Just call after dark. We like it that way.
Did you know that you can listen to Moviesucktastic all over the internet? In places like iTunes, Podfeed, Podcast Pickle, Podcast Pup, the Zune Marketplace, and more. And you can listen to us at our very own website at Moviesucktastic.com. We want you to be a part of the show, so let us know where you're listening from. You can email us at themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com or call our hotline and leave us a message at 908-514-4470. So come on and be a part of the movement that is Moviesucktastic. Find out what all the suck is about.
I just might.
Yeah, hey. What I'd like to go do is play. I'd like to go play.
You're gonna go play
the trailer.
You're gonna go play it, or you're just gonna play it?
I'm gonna play the trailer.
You're not going anywhere, so you're not gonna go play it.
No, I'm not gonna go anywhere. You're right.
Just gonna play it.
I'm just gonna play it.
By the way, I love the rock and roll poster. It looks perfect there, sir.
You dig it?
Yeah, that one spot, it's perfect.
See, if you can see, I had the old Memorex ad. That's like a real picture that Memorex ended up using for their advertising. That was there, but there was a whole chunk underneath that was just missing, and it looked weird. So I actually needed a movie theater sized poster.
Yeah, no, and rock and roll is I know it's a subpar movie, but it's something that fills the hole.
You can eat my anus. How's that?
I know, sir. Speaking of eating anuses, I'll cover that later.
Oh, okay.
That's a tease for the end of the show.
Let's go ahead and play this trailer.
Circuitry Man.
So keep quiet.
What?
In the future, the war on pollution will be lost, and civilization will move underground. A world where the last frontier is the human mind. A world where sex and drugs are computerized pleasures.
This shit is pure.
They'll bring you a fortune in New York.
Here, on a desperate flight for freedom, she must escape.
He's full biosynthetic.
One of the last.
An enemy who is no longer human. And seek help from a man who is more than a man.
I need to get to New York. You know how to run the maze.
It is a race against time. Against the guardians of the underworld.
So I want to ride out of here.
No room for passengers.
Against the ravagers of the deserts. Against the one man who cannot be stopped. but must be destroyed.
Head rush!
It's not the chicks that I want. It's always been you. Welcome to my mind.
Circuitry Man.
All right, so that was Circuitry Man. That was the trailer for that. And yeah, let me put you back on camera. All right, so that was 1990. A little low budget film back from 1990, and and I got to be honest. I know you challenged this to me, and like you said when I challenged Highway to Hell to you, I'm so happy you did that. Because I still really like this movie, even all these years later.
Again, just because you like it doesn't mean it's a good film.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm willing to take a hit on it as far as saying I enjoyed it too. So it's not what you'd call a good movie, but I still had fun like looking back at this.
Oh yeah,
really did.
I really did. I loved it. So the basic plot of this is
it's the future.
It's post-apocalyptic future.
Well, not it's not apocalypse. It's just
they destroyed the atmosphere,
ozone,
the ozone.
Yeah,
and you can't breathe up top, so everything is below. Everything is the digital age, the
80s version of future technology.
Yeah,
yeah.
What what's funny? Real quick, Plughead is the name of the main villain. He's got like a parallel cable right in the middle of his forehead. And I just find that funny because they haven't used parallel cables in like 20 years.
Well, when you're going to put sockets in your head, you want to make sure you can backdate to the older stuff as well.
That's right. Just in case you come across, like a serial connection.
Right.
So, but back to the storyline. What happens is Juice, which is...
backtrack.
Even before that?
Well, I mean, the main character of the story is, of course, the girl.
Yes, the heroine.
The heroine.
Or she's not a heroine. She's an anti-hero, kind of.
Lori, played by Dana Wheeler-Nicholson.
Right.
Right?
And
now, what else has Dana Wheeler-Nicholson been in, sir?
She's actually been in a few other things.
Right. My favorite, however, is her playing the laudanum-laced wife of Wyatt Earp in Tombstone.
Tombstone.
It's a shot at Kurt Russell. Bam!
Yep. As a matter of fact, you know what? Last night, I was just sitting on a couch, and I was just watching TV, and she ended up in a film many years later.
Mm-hmm.
And she still looked good. She was probably in her early 40s, and she still looked really good. Right. I wondered what she looks like now, to be honest.
Now, so she's playing a bodyguard,
which
has got to be the worst casting decision ever.
Yeah.
Because she's a scrawny, modelly looking girl. She's playing a professional bodyguard who has retired to become a clothing designer. So at the opening, we have a bunch of other bodyguards goons come to her bedroom while she's tied to the bed.
Right.
And they slice apart her clothing in like the most bizarre episode of Project Runway I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they tell her that she's wanted back on the bodyguard scene.
Right.
And the funniest thing about her playing a bodyguard is that not only does she not guard anybody very well in the show, I mean, she's in the film she's constantly saved. When she comes up against people, they beat her, except for the one bar fight we don't see. And Plughead throughout the film refers to her as the muscle bitch.
Yeah.
And when she takes off her shirt or whatever, and you have like the long skinny arms, I can see why you call her that because she's obviously
she's supposed to be tough.
But
she's
no V.I. Warshawski.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. The movie that I actually saw her in was What's the Worst That Could Happen, and that's with Danny DeVito and what the fuck's his
I
name?
vaguely remember that title.
It was Danny DeVito and Martin Lawrence. She had a very bit part as like a gallery owner, where Martin Lawrence goes in and he tells her that one of the paintings is a complete fake, and that was it. That was her entire part.
I vaguely remember that film.
That was 12 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that it came and went and did nothing. Yeah. And so Juice, of course, is played by the heavyset ugly woman that plays a heavyset ugly woman in every film she's in.
Yeah, that's true.
And during this, what?
No, go ahead.
Well, and then so she's brought to bodyguard the heavy ugly woman. What's her name? Lou Leonard.
Lou Leonard, who passed away at the age of 77 in 2004.
Doesn't look a day over 50 in the film, and she's supposed to bodyguard her because she's selling what I'm assuming is drugs in the form of microchips. Right. They don't really go into detail. They just show Plunkett put one in his head and go,
"Oh, this shit's pure.
Shit's pure," and it's their seed chips, so it's a big drug transaction, but in the cybertronic world of microchip pharmaceuticals, and it goes wrong because the feds intervene, and the muscle bitch ends up running off with the synthetic gigolo that Juice uses as a runner because he knows how to drive the maze, which is the series of underground parking lots that apparently crisscross the entire nation now.
Correct.
There's a couple of plot holes in there. I mean,
you're not going to get parking garages connecting throughout the entire country.
Well, and if you are, and this happens after the world ends up moving underground because the ozone layer disappears, I would assume that that much vehicles would mean there were a lot of buildings and stuff. And apparently, when they moved underground, they disassembled all the buildings and took them with them. Yeah. Because all the outside shots are just pure desert wasteland.
Yeah.
Basically, they decided, okay, we need to shoot this entire film, but all we have is a stretch of desert and a parking garage to shoot in. and so they wrapped 2/3 of the film around a parking garage and desert.
So the meeting goes awry because it turns out that it's a drug bust.
Right, the guy from the creepy guy from Cheers.
Yeah.
Not one of the main creepy guys, one of the sidekick creepy guys.
Yes, right. Yeah. He
one that knew the Bonanza theme song, I think, if I remember correctly.
He makes his presence known in the scene that it's a bust, and the whole deal just goes, belly up. Yeah. Right.
And so then you have Plughead chasing down Muscle Bitch with
the synthetic guy, and their whole mission at that point is to go to New York to sell the chips to just make a shitload of money.
Now the pleasure android is played by Jim Metzler.
Yep.
Danner's the name of the character. Now Jim Metzler, I was recognizing him. I'm watching. I know him. I can't remember where I saw him.
I was doing the same thing.
And I figured out where I recognized him from. He is he's the guy from LA Confidential.
Yep.
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 I was like, that's my favorite role he was ever in. He's the one that when Russell Crowe goes to pick up Kim Basinger, he's the one with the hat. What do you want to do? Flat? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Excuse me. I'm dying.
And he was a senator too. Yeah,
Yes, he was.
He was less heroic in LA Confidential than he was in Circuitry Man.
Yeah, he is also in Circuitry Man too, but that's another podcast.
But I'm dying to see that.
Well, this is another film, and you know what? I could pop the movie up on the screen if people want to watch it while we talk.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I could do that. Should I do that? Does everyone want to do that?
You could take me away and put that up, while we're talking.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that. All right.
Is that you or me?
What? That's my chair. I need some
okay.
WD-40 on it.
Yeah, stop squeaking, sir.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It happens.
And now, and speaking of Jim Metzler, there are a lot of stars in this film that I recognized and I went back on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my favorite character is Leech.
Yeah.
Leech. I mean, they come across this guy that lives in the.
I love him.
He lives in the maze.
He's almost like a Gary Oldman type character.
He is like a Gary Oldman type character, and he lives in the maze, and he eats sewer leeches, and
that whole scene where he talks about it.
Uh-huh.
He's talking about if he just ate one without boiling it, he'd get sick, probably puke for a few days. And then she's like, I just don't get what you mean. And then he's just like, I'm tired of eating fucking leeches.
And he
takes a big giant bite out of one of them.
And so he bribes them into taking him along in exchange for his oxygen, Oxy, because you need oxygen to travel up top because we destroyed. I don't know where they're getting the oxygen, since they destroyed all the oxygen. I'm not sure on the actual origins of oxygen in can form. I guess I always assume they just pumped it into it. I don't know if you can actually create oxygen. You probably can, but
if you're a chemist,
I hate to sound stupid when it comes to something as simple as where does canned oxygen come from, but I just find it curious that they have all this oxygen around that they're bartering for, yet there's no oxygen upstairs.
Right.
But Leach is played by Dennis Christopher.
Yes.
And Dennis Christopher, I mean, I want to go way back. Dennis Christopher is one of the 4 main characters in one of my favorite 70s films. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No, I didn't do any homework on him, and
he was in a film in 1979 with Dennis Quaid and Jack Earl Haley.
Oh, Bad News Bears?
No.
No, wait a minute.
This is a
79.
79, a slightly older Jackie Earl Haley, and Daniel Stern. He rode a bicycle. He shaved his legs for this role.
I'm drawing a blank.
Breaking Away.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've seen Breaking Away?
Maybe
bicycle. The kid on the bicycle, and they're like the Jackie Earl Haley keeps punching things. This is like a classic 70s film. This is like the big one. This is everyone knows Breaking Away. He played the kid that was scared his father because he was shaving his legs and wanted to be a professional bicyclist.
Get the fuck. No,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Is that where they end up at the Tour de France at one point?
Well, not really the Tour de France, but they end up at
it was like a major bike race at one point.
Right, and they all at the end they all chip in, and at the end his leg is bleeding and stuff. It's like a really dramatic thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but now on a side note though, he's also the sidekick to one of my favorite bad movies ever, Jake Speed.
Jake Speed's
sidekick. He's the writer. And I just had to bring that up because I love Jake Speed, and every time I didn't recognize him because he really goes into the Leech character, but you can hear it in the voice that's who that's who he is.
Okay, all right.
And then you had the other girl that ends up the other bodyguard type hoodlum girl, the nymphomaniac that teams up with Plughead.
Right.
Yo-Yo.
Yo.
The actress that plays her, Barbara Allen Woods, she didn't really do much. Her biggest claim to fame is she was the mother in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kid TV show.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah.
And the husband in there, just to go off track a little bit, he's as famous as he's ever gotten was bosom buddies with Tom Hanks.
He's the man. That was the high point. Yeah. How do you top that? Well, I guess Tom Hanks figured out how you top that.
Well, yeah.
You go on to be a multi-Oscar winning actor.
He didn't even have. You know what? He was big even before he did Philadelphia. He just was.
Yeah, I was thinking Castaway.
So yeah, basically they end up top, and it's just this
cross-country smuggling journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Plughead's chasing them down. They're trying to get to New York first because they got the chips, and I don't want to say that there's nothing else to say about it, but the plot is very simple.
It's simple, but you have your basic cyberpunk elements. You've got the synthetic pleasure droid android character who's very romantic, and he's got this implanted memory of this girl that's been kidnapped. So that's why he was doing stuff for juice for free.
Right.
And so as you're going to have the whole love triangle because he's pining for this woman that doesn't exist, and the muscle bitch is kind of falling for him, which I don't understand. And
it's like, people are talking about the opening of the scene, like, what's this guy doing?
You don't know?
Well, what do you think he's doing?
I don't know what he's doing. Now, also, she escapes this whole scene. She's the boyfriend ties her up and then leaves because he's in cahoots with Juice.
Right.
And she's trying to cut herself out because there's a pair of scissors, since she's a seamstress or a designer.
Right.
And for someone who's trying to be a professional clothing designer, she does not know how to properly take care of her scissors. apparently, seamstresses or clothing designers, they leave their scissors open on shelves right above their bed. Now, I would think that's a bad place to leave your cutting utensils. That's me.
Yeah, no, that's a real bad place. I mean, of course, it could fall, it could break, or could stab you in the night.
It worked out for her. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You know.
And this chick here, this one here,
Yo-yo.
the one that doesn't like to wear a bra.
Yo-yo, yeah. That's the.
Did she do? She must have done softcore stuff.
I didn't see any softcore stuff, but she was in an episode of what do you call it? The chick, the sluts.
Sex in the City.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And she wasn't in an episode of that.
She wasn't that? Okay.
She was in one episode. I'm assuming she was a lesbian. I don't know why. That's just...
I bet she did some like swimsuit modeling type stuff, because she's not wearing a bra in any of these scenes.
You know what's great about this movie?
You can see right through.
It's so
awesome.
Well, you can see the breast, because when she climbs over, the breast dangle, whatever. It's so.
Oh yeah, they hang pretty low. It's nice.
So 80s in the hairstyles, to a certain extent, and in the filming, but at the same time, it's also your futuristic film that has 50s clothing and hairstyles.
Yeah, well, you got to remember too, when they filmed this, it was probably filmed during 1989 because it was released in 1990.
Yeah, it's the edge of the 80s.
So
and God, weren't the 80s awesome?
You know,
I
really enjoyed growing up in the 80s. I really did.
I look back more and more, and the 90s kind of sucked.
The 90s really did suck.
70s.
Look at those. Look at that bra wearing.
Easy there, sir. The 70s were just like dirty.
Oh my! She purposely took that jacket off.
Yes, but the 80s. Focus, sir. Concentrate. Focus.
I'm focusing.
Focus. The 80s was like this nice plastic departure from the gritty, dirty 70s, and everything was just so big and bright and cute and entertainment. It was all pop culture. It's like 80s. The 80s is pop culture. That's it.
Right.
There's nothing else. There's no other culture in the 80s. It's pop.
That's it.
That's it. And it's beautiful. And watching this is like the tail end of the 80s, and this is what you got out of the 80s. They were doing low budget direct to video stuff, but I mean, you got to admit, it's a fun movie. There's some great lines in it.
Oh yeah.
There's some really good lines. I mean, the characters are a bit, cliche, and Plughead is right out of the whole cyberpunk era. Oh, John Gibson?
No. It was
the author.
Oh, the author. I thought you were talking about the guy that played Plughead.
No. I'm sorry, Gibson. The Vernon was the guy that played Plughead.
Yep, Vernon Wells.
Right. Vernon Wells, who was?
Wow, he was a Road Warrior.
Another 80s film. Oh, Road Warrior, yes, but I'm thinking specifically he was the lead Road Warrior bicycle guy in Weird Science.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Which I would have challenged you to challenge that to you just because I want to watch it again, but it doesn't fit our criteria at all because the movie rules.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It does.
No, it fucking rules. I love that movie. I could never challenge that as a bad film.
Now, and there was another crossover between this film and somebody in this film was also in Ghost Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I forget now. I thought I had it saved up here, but I don't. Somebody in this was in Ghost Dad. I think it was the bartender. She was the bartender was one of the nurses in Ghost Dad.
Get out of here.
There's a link. And Metzler was also in 976 Evil. How awesome is that?
This shit comes full circle, don't it?
Yeah. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the muscle chick. Also, you can recognize her. She was the romantic lead in Fletch.
That's right. She was.
That's right. So the 80s were really her. The 80s were her high point.
You know, there's something about her I like. I mean, she's not. I wouldn't go out of my way to say that she's like smoking hot, but she's
not in this character.
No, not. but there's something about her, like her facial structure, something that I find very attractive. I don't know why.
I can see that. Just not in this role. Just not in this role.
Well, not in
especially
this
with
scene.
that hairstyle.
How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not in this scene.
No.
But and not to give anything away because we don't do that around here. But
you don't want to give it away.
No, because I think people should see this movie. I think it's a fun look back at the late 80s, early 90s. No, they can't. You're right.
You should watch this film. Yeah, because ladies and gentlemen, due to my ignorance of doing any research in my movie challenges, we are reviewing a film you cannot see. We are reviewing a film that is not available on DVD. It is not available on any if you try to download it
Netflix
other way.
None of that.
Netflix streaming, you can't get it. If you're a pirate, you can't get this goddamn film. We almost didn't review this film.
That's right. There's only one place that you can actually stream this movie. It is streamable in one place, and it's called Crackle. And you can get that from the IMDb page for Circuitry Man. The only problem with the Crackle feed is that they show fucking commercials. So, much like you would catch it on TV, you're going to see as many commercials as you would if you watched it on television. And it's really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was able to acquire a copy because it did come out on DVD. What I have is the Circuitry Man and Circuitry Man 2 DVD. It was like a compilation where I had both movies on one disc.
Oh, that came out with that?
And then it went out of print. It's way out of print. I mean, it's selling for like $100 on Amazon. And
yeah,
the same on eBay.
This is one of those films that you pay big money for just for the VHS tape.
Yes. It's being bootlegged like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Much like how They Live back in the day was fetching upwards $200 for the $4 DVD that Universal put out. Because it came out. What's that?
Go ahead. Finish. No, finish.
No, I was going to say, back in the day when it came out, it was like $4 or $5 in your bargain bin. And then it went out of print and then was selling for a couple of $100 on eBay. They Live. And same thing with this film. That's the way this film is right now. It's being bootlegged all over the internet. You can go to eBay and go buy ripped copies of this.
I myself, I once sold a VHS copy of Tim Conway and Don Knotts in The Private Eyes for $65, sir.
Wow.
And that was 2 months before it came out on DVD. So
I once sold a copy of Unico, which I believe is called Unico: The Last Unicorn. Old anime film from, I think it was the late 70s, early 80s. I think I sold that for about $90 on eBay to some dude over in Beverly Hills in California. So I didn't care. He could afford it.
I need a VHS copy of Treasure of the Four Crowns if I can find one that's not sun-faded. Thank you. Video store in Quakertown. They got it for $10. They got it for $10. It's $10 they're selling it for.
I remember seeing like the giant VHS.
This is one of those
clamshell box. This is the only way it came.
Yeah, it's a clamshell. It's a big clamshell.
It's big, and it opens like a book.
Right,
it's old Universal Pictures.
Right, and they got it for $10. It is for $10, but it's sun faded as shit. And I asked them once, "Can you knock it down to $5 because it's sun faded?" They said no. So, well, you're not going to sell it because I've been coming here for 3 years, and every year I come here, boom. No one's going to buy. Yeah, no one's going to buy this for $10 when it's sun faded. Thank you.
Yeah, fuck that.
Bastards, greedy fucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway,
Circuitry Man. Yeah, I mean, it has the trappings of the cyberpunk era, and really back then no one was really doing cyberpunk right. What year did the Johnny Mnemonic come out?
95, I believe.
95, and even then they were still screwing it up. They've only just recently done it right.
Yeah.
And this is really this low budget film. The directors didn't do anything else really. It's just this and Circuitry Man 2. They really have nothing else to their name, and they did without having seen Circuitry Man 2. They really did a decent version of this.
No, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm dying. I'm sorry.
Of course, one of my favorite scenes is when they go to the Oxy diner.
Oh yeah,
and
which
while
has
they're
become very popular in this day and age.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have oxygen bars, so that's ironic. They didn't have them back then, did they? Were they just starting to have those? That wasn't until that was mid-90s, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think the Oxy bars were mid-90s. I don't think they were in the 80s. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was around the same time as the Smart bars. Same time period.
I've never been to an oxygen bar. Even the last time I went to Vegas, they had them. I just didn't feel like doing it.
Because you're not an idiot. but I mean, so they're kind of ahead of the curve on that. But that whole scene where they lock the pleasure droid in the airlock, and she's fighting all the guys, and they keep hitting the button on and off. He keeps holding his breath. That's like my favorite part of the film.
Yeah, you know what? That was a fun scene.
And you know,
it was a fun scene.
It's great low budget filmmaking too, because he hustles them to play pool. He's like, okay, I'm going to sink all the balls in one hit, and he does it. And they don't show the pool table at all. All they show is everybody's. You just hear it. You just watch their eyes following the balls. It's like classic low budget.
Yeah.
It's like we have no way to do this on our budget. Just trust us. The white ball is hitting all the other balls in.
As a matter of fact, I have a feeling that there was probably too many clanking noises for balls hitting other balls. It just seemed like there was too many noises. There wasn't as many balls on the tables as what the sounds that they were putting out were displaying.
That scene dragged out way too. It was like a minute and a half of.
Yeah. There's far too many balls on that table.
They were playing with 37 balls. No wonder no one's winning. That's how the guy was cheating. Now, on the same note,
yes,
when they're in the back of the truck, and he compliments her on this dress she's dragging to New York with her, which I don't know how I don't know why she packed this dress with her on a desperate, cross country jag to save her life and do a drug deal. Oh, let me pack one of my favorite dresses I've never worn before. So he talks her into
open-toed shoes.
Right. he talks her into putting it on. He spent this whole thing about putting it on, and then after she puts it on, he's like, "Oh, it looks great, whatever." And they do a close-up on her face.
Right.
They don't show it. You don't get to see the dress till 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
They do this whole build-up for the dress, and then everything else is close, tight-up shots of the face. It's like, I want to see the dress. By the time they show you the dress, you're done with it. I don't want to see the dress now. It was like all this teasing, and I don't know how this works on the movie now, where the knives come up out of her knees. I don't know how she triggered.
She groined them.
Yeah, but I don't know how she triggered that to pop out. I don't know why that never comes up again.
Yeah, you would think that would be a good way to get out of a.
Yeah, and she's got
out of a predicament.
She's got thigh daggers, and that never comes up. She's never in a situation where she can say, "Oh, let me pull a dagger out of my thigh." They could have been in her belt.
Yeah.
Garter daggers, that's what you call it. Garter
dagger. Oh, okay.
Which is really dangerous if you think about it. I wouldn't strap daggers there.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there's more going on down there, but still, it's just not kosher.
Look at Vernon Wells. He's like, God damn it.
Oh, what was that? Look, Ma, no hands. He's driving. It was like a head rush when they draw.
Like, what now?
He plugs himself in the back of people's heads so he can feel what they're feeling, everything. So he plugs himself into the back of the head of one of the truck driver, and then he has his biker gang that he takes over, drawing quarter of them, and he gets up and is like, head rush, yeah,
head rush. Well, how about when he plugs into Danner, and he's like, one plug.
Too proud to plug. And I remember that quote from watching this was great. I could have reviewed this without having watched it again. Right. I swear it was that clear in my mind. All of his lines, all of Vernon's lines in this film, Plughead's lines, I knew before he said them. It's like, too proud to plug. It's like, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember, look, Ma, no hands, the head rush. I remembered all his lines. And the big line at the end when they have the big, in like, welcome to my mind.
Right.
The ultimate battle. Great. Probably one of the best, inside my mind, inside a bad guy's mind fights ever. Even though it's not,
it looked awesome too.
The landscape, and on a low budget, that was an awesome landscape.
Yeah.
It just showed that they didn't have the money, but they had the vision.
Well, his line, what was his line? It's like, you're just like me. And then he was like, yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Right.
Which is like the end of, which happens a lot. The end of Solo. Remember Solo?
Oh yeah, with Mario Van Peebles.
Mario Van Peebles as Solo, the black android.
Well, you know, it was funny the whole time. I'm just thinking, I was like, don't they have a brand of plastic cups named Solo?
Yes, they do.
They do. And I'm just thinking that the whole time, and I'm like,
they make more money than the film ever did.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't he say the exact same thing at the end of Solo? The guy's like, "You killed me. You're just like me." He's like, I swear it's the exact same line at the end of Solo. He's like, "Yeah, you're just like me if you kill me." He's like, "Yeah, I am." Crack. And he breaks his spine over his knee.
I'm not sure. I don't really remember. I haven't seen it in years.
I can almost swear it's the exact same line at the end. I'll have to do my research on that.
I'm pretty sure that Mario Van Peebles directed that film, too.
Oh, yes. You can be sure about that.
Yeah, and he had his father in it and everything. And I just remember this interview that he had where he's talking about how ripped his father is. He goes, yeah, my dad, look at him. He's all ripped and shit. Yeah, I put him in my movie. It's like, wow, Mario. How'd you get the name Mario? Jesus.
Where did you get Peoples?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Peoples. All right. So that's pretty much Circuitry Man.
It's
if you can get your hands on a copy, I highly recommend it, or we highly recommend it.
It's probably one of the best, and it was direct to video.
It did go theatrical.
Went theatrical, but was
for
limited.
A very limited release.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the most.
I actually think it went straight to cable and then the video. I think I saw it. I think it came out on Cinemax first.
I would believe that. Yeah, they did that a lot.
It was because they were doing that when they were trying to go theatrical and it just didn't work out. They'd go to like do a cable premiere, make a big deal about it, and then it would go to video.
Yeah, you'd have that. I remember watching this at the comic book store actually.
Like the Martin Asante film, Blind Fury. I think that was a perfect example of that.
No,
that film.
No,
they were trying to go theatrical and they ended up doing just an HBO premiere.
Try again, sir.
Not Blind Fury.
Blind Justice.
Yeah. Blind Justice. I'm thinking of the one with Rutger Hauer.
That's Blind Fury.
That's Blind Fury.
Don't mix your blind.
And you know what? Those all really came out around the same time.
Now, between the two of those, Blind Justice, 100 times better.
Oh yeah,
100 times better.
Oh, phew. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I should revisit it.
Oh, I just watched it last week actually.
Oh really?
Mondesante. Yeah, I threw it on my my Boxy setup.
Oh, nice.
I was playing around. I haven't watched this in a while. I have to admit, when I watch it now, I just fast forward to all my favorite scenes. When he's talking to the general, he's like, "Oh, you got dead, man. You met a dead." The world's full of them, isn't it? What's that, asshole?
It's funny. It's like Armand Asante was doing that before Pacino got an Oscar for it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Armand Asante, so much better as he got older.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he just like fine fucking wine. I mean,
yeah.
What's the part at the end where he's with the Indian? He's like, he's making me think the grave's up. He's crazy. Nah, he's just upset. Not me. I'm crazy.
I remember owning a Laserdisc of that film.
I don't think I ever owned a Laserdisc, but I mean, yeah, HBO. It was an HBO movie too. It premiered on HBO.
It did premiere on HBO.
Oh, speaking of westerns, one of the people in Circuitry Man, and I forget who now because I just closed all my windows of my research, is in the Django movie that
is he really?
Tarantino's doing. And
when is that being released? That's this year, right?
It's in post-production right now, I believe. Production or post-production. And I believe it's what's his name?
Apocalypse?
I think Leach is going to be in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What did I say? What did I say his name was? Christopher. I closed all my windows because we were pretty much done, so I forgot the name.
That's okay.
You got to play Leach. He's going to be in it. It's a bit part. It's like if you look on IMDb, he's halfway down the list. So he's going to be like one of the members of whatever Mexican gang or whatever.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Well, I can't wait to see it. Period. I can't wait to see him in it.
I'm so eager for a new Django film. Django. who is in the coffin? His name is Django.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and let me give you your movie challenge.
Now, can I take a guess?
Sure. You're not going to guess this, but
so it's not Circuitry Man 2.
No, it's not Circuitry Man 2.
All right, give me a hint. Give me.
Okay. This is connected by. It is not like director, writer, screenwriter, things like that. It is connected by actor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it came out the same year as this.
It's an actor.
Yeah, it takes place in a foreign land.
In a foreign land.
It is, I guess, what you would call it's more of a comedy than a romantic comedy, but it does have an element of a romance going on in it.
Okay. In a foreign land. Any more hints?
Vernon Wells is in it. I'll give you that.
See, I'm not.
This is another film that's completely out of print, but I have acquired a copy of it.
And I'm not.
I was able to get one.
I'm not completely. I'm not cheating. I have no IMDb's up or anything. I am not that familiar with Vernon's acting history. So, do I get any other hints?
I can give you another actor.
Sure.
Cheech Marin.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that kind of narrows it down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Another.
I'm not picking my nose. I'm wiping my nose because I'm dying.
It's not a Cheech and Chong film.
It is not a Cheech and Chong film.
Oh, Chong's not in it. Just Cheech.
Correct.
Wow. It's not a Spy Kids film, is it?
No.
Thank God.
This came out in 1990.
That narrows it down then. Cheech wasn't really in a lot of stuff. He was in Green Card. He was in it's not it's not the LA film he did, right?
Oh, Born in East LA?
Born in East LA?
Nope.
No. What else was he in? Is it sci-fi?
No, it's a comedy.
But it could still be sci-fi.
Okay, it's not a sci-fi. I told you what it was. It was it was like a romantic comedy.
But it could still be sci-fi. I mean,
all right.
It's not
You know what? I think we've done this long enough that if it had any elements of sci-fi, I would have said sci-fi.
I can't assume that, sir.
Has Cheech Marin ever been in anything but a fucking comedy? He's never been in a sci-fi film.
It can still be a sci-fi comedy. I don't see why you think they're exclusive.
It's not a sci-fi comedy. How's that?
It's not a sci-fi. You already said it's not sci-fi. I'm fine with that. Wow. Give me one more hint. Give me something. Come on, help me out here. Everything you give me is so vague.
It takes place in Australia.
Australia. Okay.
Which is how Vernon Wells is in it.
Cheech is in a film in Australia? It's not... Yep. Well, I know it's not my favorite Australian film ever, Quigley Down Under.
No, it's not that one.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's Tom Selleck.
Yes, it is.
With and the mustache as well.
Right.
Shit! You're gonna have to give this one to me. I cannot think of.
All right. It is Vernon Wells as the love interest to. Okay.
Give me the plot. I'm angry that I'm not getting this. Give me the plot.
The lead actress, she became famous during daytime soap opera.
Okay.
Forget her name. It's Samantha or something Sam's. Well, anyway, her boyfriend is Vernon Wells. All right. Cheech Marin, he is in Australia, and she uses him to pretend he's her boyfriend her father...
I said Green Card, right?
It's not Green Card.
Okay.
You're thinking of Gerard Depardieu. That was Green Card.
But Cheech Marin was in one of those films too, where I'm probably thinking of the film, but not the name of it.
Listen, nobody's getting married so they can be a citizen. That's not what the plot is.
Okay, never mind. All right, go ahead.
Okay, good. Anyway, she has him pretend to be her boyfriend so that her father approves of her current boyfriend. So it's one of those, you don't like my current boyfriend. Well, what would you do if I dated Cheech Marin? And it would force her father to say, okay, the other guy's fine. So
now, if it was Paul Rodriguez, this could be Whoopie Boys.
It's not. So what ends up happening is it turns into more of a romantic comedy and whatnot.
All right, I'm lost. You've lost me.
It is out of print. You can't find it anywhere. I do have it, so we can review it.
What is it?
It's Shrimp on the Barbie.
What?
It's Shrimp on the Barbie.
Wow,
with Cheech Marin.
This is like the last gasp of his career before it was
in 1990.
Right, but he had a career like with the East LA thing and all that. He had a career post Cheech and Chong, and it died out with. I'm vaguely remembering this title. And I think it was like the last thing he did that was like in his career, and then he kind of fell out until the whole Quentin Tarantino Rodriguez duo pulled him back in with Dusk Till Dawn and all the Spy Kids films. So this was like this was like what do you call it? God damn it!
Don't know where you're going.
John Travolta. This is like John Travolta.
Oh, it was like a resurgence. I got
right.
you.
This was the first part of his career.
And you know what's ironic about that? Quentin Tarantino was involved in both of those movies.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I mean, and John Travolta, I would guess the end of his first career was what, Blowout? Maybe? No,
I would say the end of. No, that kind of brought him back a little bit because that was a big hit.
It was a hit, but it didn't bring him back. He didn't get acting work from that.
Maybe it was Look Who's Talking.
Oh,
I mean,
no, the last film, no, Two of a Kind. That was the nail in his coffin.
With Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah, that was the nail in his coffin. That did not.
That was 1985, though.
But he fell out a lot. He fell out.
No. It's the movie that he did with his now current wife. What the hell is it called? Holy shit!
That one with the photography, right?
Yes.
That was after.
That was after. Yes, that was like in 1986, 87, 88, I think.
What was it?
Two of a Kind was in 85.
Autofocus? No, that's the Bob Crane killing.
No. It
Focus.
was
Focus, right? Focus?
No.
Focus? Pardon me while I look this up.
Yeah, you do that.
I'll check that. But I mean, and technically Travolta's career ended there, and then Look Who's Talking got him money and recognition, but it didn't get him new jobs. Tarantino, Pulp Fiction, that got him back into a new career. I mean, you're doing shitty kids films with Bruce Willis voicing over a baby. That's not revitalizing your career. That's just giving you. That's just paying your rent.
It's still a hit, though.
But it didn't benefit his career. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
Cheech Marin did stuff between Shrimp on the Barbie and Dusk Till Dawn, but Dusk Till Dawn really revitalized his career. Or Dusk Till Dawn and Desperado, between the two of them.
Okay.
That's what.
Did you find it yet?
I wasn't looking. I have to use hand gestures when I talk, so I couldn't type at the same time.
I see. So
you're challenging me to a comedy. You know how
comedy.
You know how I feel about that.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
I'm iffy on challenging on comedies. I'll do it, but
you have to.
I know, but still, I just feel that it's too easy to make fun of comedies.
Yeah, but this one's pretty bad.
Oh. Talking about John Travolta is great when it comes to bad movies. I'm almost there. Two of a Kind was in '83.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of the end. Then in '85 was Perfect.
Okay.
That's the one. After that,
he
did The Experts.
That's the one.
That was the nail in the coffin.
That's the one. That's where he met his wife.
And that would have killed him, career-wise, if Look Who's Talking hadn't kept him above water.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he didn't really do anything major after Look Who's Talking, except Look Who's Talking 2. Then he did a bunch of little shit.
Yeah.
Between 1989, with The Experts and Look Who's Talking, he was really just basically after Staying Alive, he's slumming. After Staying Alive, he's doing Two of a Kind, which was not well received. Perfect, which came and went. The Experts, which was not even recognized. No one remembers that film. Then he did all the Look Who's Talking that made money, but that's not what you'd call good cinema.
Correct.
And that's taking him into the 90s. And then in the 90s, he's doing Boris and Natasha. He's in Shout. And then he's doing a third Look Who's Talking sequel because at this point he's kind of giving up. And then Pulp Fiction comes out of nowhere. And the minute Pulp Fiction hits, suddenly he's in White Man's Burden, but Get Shorty, Broken Arrow, Phenomenon, Michael, Face Off. All of a sudden he's just doing nothing but like cool ass action films.
Commanding upwards in the range of 20 to 30 million a movie.
Yeah, I mean,
all
even
because of John Travolta.
Even the shit he did that didn't get much recognition, like Mad City or She's So Lovely. I mean, the little ones like that. He's still in command. He's still doing a movie a year, minimum. Actually, after the Look Who's Talking debacle, he's doing 2 or 3 movies a year.
Yeah.
I mean, look at 95. I mean, between 95, 96, and 97, he's in between 95 and 97. You've got which is after Pulp Fiction. You've got White Man's Burden, Get Shorty, Broken Arrow, Phenomenon, Michael, She's So Lovely, Face Off, Mad City, and that takes you right into Primary Colors, where he starts doing real acting again, like with a civil action.
Yes.
And
which I loved Civil Action.
In general, General's Daughter, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I reviewed with you a Civil Action back in like episode 5, I think.
Right.
6.
And then he fucks it up again.
Yeah.
With
what, after Civil Action?
Yeah, after General's Daughter, really.
General's Daughter.
So in '89, he screws up his career. He does Look Who's Talking. He's a joke. The '90s are his fucking the world is his oyster. And then just at the end of the '90s, he does Battlefield Earth.
Oh God, which he still, I think, to this day wants a sequel for.
Well, as he pushed the film. He was the driving force behind that. And then suddenly he's appearing on Drew Carey's show as Vinnie Barbarino. Yeah. I mean, and all of a sudden he's doing The Punisher. He's in Swordfish. He's doing Be Cool, which
I guess that was kind of well received. I personally wasn't crazy about it.
But again, at that point he's still liked, but like he's not getting the big roles anymore. He's just doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I love them in From Paris with Love.
I still haven't seen it.
Really? It's fun.
Still haven't seen it.
It's fun. He was even good in taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 remake, which didn't need to be made.
Of course not.
And it wasn't, and it didn't break any new ground. It was just, let's just modernize this. But he was okay. Right. He plays a good bad guy.
Yeah.
All
right.
We got sidetracked. I'm sorry.
No,
You're not feeling well.
I gotta lay down.
Yeah, you're not feeling well.
I gave everybody more than I could have.
Man. Shrimp on the front,
right. BA. Yeah. Here's the theme music.
I already know what I'm challenging next episode, too.
Oh, you do? Based on Shrimp on a Barbie?
Based on that, I already know what I'm making you watch. Actually, you have 3 choices of what I'm making you watch, and all of them suck. All of them are painful one way or another. But I'll even tell you, it's going to be an Australian connection. It's going to be an Australian connection.
No
it's got to be.
Okay.
It's got to be.
All right.
Australia.
All right. Okay.
All right.
I look forward to it. All right. You're going to have to tell everyone what to do because my voice ain't going to hold up.
Everybody, listen to Scott-tastic. Welcome to Moviesucktastic. I'm Scott, your host. Joey is on the way out. I'll be taking over from here on in. To listen to all of our shows, you can go to Moviesucktastic.com. From Moviesucktastic.com, you can find everything else you can find us. You can stream us live from Moviesucktastic. You can listen to us there. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Zune. You can find us on Podcast Pickle, Podcast Pup. If you Google Moviesucktastic, you'll find a shitload of stuff that has to do with us. You can go to smichaelwilson.com and see what Scott's doing these days. I've got a new book coming out. I've got a story coming out in a new book called Uncle John's Flush Fiction. Uncle John's Flush Fiction. And that'll be up on the shelves in April. Buy it, and one of my short stories is in there. I'm also in the new book, Butcher Knives and Body Counts. It's an anthology of essays on the slasher and bloody violent horror films of the 70s and 80s mostly, and I have an article in there on the classic Santa Claus killing film Silent Night, Deadly Night. And of course I have other books too. Go to smichaelwilson.com for all those links. Moviesucktastic.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. We're fucking everywhere, man. And you can find us you can find our new video, Moviesucktastic podcast video at livestream.com/Moviesucktastic. Did I leave it out, sir? Oh, you can also call us at the number Joey has to give you because I refuse to memorize them.
Oh, yeah. It's 908-514-4470.
The number again is
908-514-4470.
That's right. And remember, I have nothing to say. I have no words of wisdom. I really don't. Oh no, I do have words of wisdom. If you're waiting for an elevator, step the fuck back. I don't know what the fuck it is with people these days. They don't understand that if you ring for an elevator and the door's open and you're standing there and you act surprised that someone wants to get off, you should be punched in the face. And I'm going to go a little further too. I'm tired. When I drive, if I'm driving into a parking lot and you're walking across with